This is CC499, Film and Social Meaning Capstone Experience. This is Basic Research Part 2, and today I'm going to be talking about online research, and the research you're going to see will work not only for developing a topic and narrowing down a thesis, but also it'll be good for the rest of the project. So you can refer to this whenever you need to see what to do. First thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to think about our imaginary project, which was on the Mexican standoff in film, and we're going to take a brief look at the kind of movies we were looking at by researching them, starting with IMDb, just to get the basics. When you go to IMDb, you can search for individual movies, say, for example, In Bruges. There it is, In Bruges. And when you click on its page, you can get all the information that you need: the director, the writer, the release date, the country of origin, all the stars that you need to worry about, and also people like the cinematographer or the music, film editing, all of the major production people. And you might want to write the most important things down in an index card and document it in MLA format. I'll talk about that later on in a different podcast, but that's how you want to start. So that's the first task you do, and you go through this for all of our films. So Reservoir Dogs, there's that. There we go. And we just work through this, and we put down all the information we need on cards. And that's how you use IMDb. Now, I'd like you to go to the Blackboard site. Here we are at the home page. And the home page, top of the screen, there's Newman Library, so we're going to go up there, click on that. And then once we're at the Newman Library, we've got three distinct databases we can look at. Databases right here, A to Z. Go to the databases, and the three we're going to look at is Academic Search Complete, Academic OneFile, and then under the letter J, JSTOR. So those are the ones we're going to look at. Let's start off with Academic OneFile. Give that a second to, there we go. And we don't want to worry about the basic search. We want to do an advanced search. Thing about when you're doing this research is you really don't want to find information that's directly about your subject, because if there's information directly about your subject, then that means somebody's already done it, and it's kind of pointless to do real research on it. So I'm kind of hoping that when I search for Mexican standoffs, Mexican standoff, there it is, Mexican standoff, and movies. Whoops, movies. I'm really hoping that I don't find anything. Okay, so there's one article, and that's, I don't know, is it full text? Let's see. It's full text. So I've got one article, it's full text. I can actually download that. Yeah, it seems to be taking a while. I can download that article and take a look at it, see if it's any good. Now, that's not to mean to say that that's the only search I can do. I mean, if they don't have Mexican standoffs, maybe they have gunfights at least. So gunfights, or maybe gunfight. Gunfight. How about gunfights? Gunfights and movies. And we'll see what we've got for that. And let's make sure that we only get full text documents. Okay, so we've got 4 articles from there. And the next thing you have to worry about is any of it peer-reviewed. So we'll click the peer-reviewed box, and none. Okay, that's also kind of a good sign, because that narrows down our stuff. So we can use those unrefereed articles. We just can't put much faith in them. So let's go back and let's check out another one of the databases. So let's check out, Academic Search Complete next. And there's a number of things we can search for. I mean, right now we searched for Mexican standoffs and gunfights, and I doubt we'll have much better luck. Mexican standoff and film. Say full text, see if we get anything. And we get 2 films. And they may or may not be. See, the Mexican may or may not actually contain one. Who knows? But we can also say, look for Tarantino. See what we get for him. That's a lot. 575 articles, full text. Now let's cut it down by saying scholarly and see what happens. See, 36. So we've already got 36 articles we can take a look at. That's going to take a really long time to go through all those things, but we can narrow it down. Like the stakes in Holocaust representation. Okay, we don't need that. We're not writing about the Holocaust. Taxonomy of alternate plots in recent films. Nope, we don't need that. Loyalty, women in business. We don't need that. Translating film titles. We don't need that. Psychology, incarnational theology, shepherding the weak. So we can go through this and see if there's anything easy. There's one in Mr. Pink, and that probably might be interesting. And what you can do, you don't have to go right to reading the whole article. You can read the abstract instead. And then if the abstract shows anything that you think is cool, then you can download the actual article and save it to your desktop. Now, it's always useful at this point as well to make sure that you're going to document this stuff correctly. And a lot of citation managers don't do it right, and sometimes people will copy and paste from here, and that's not only wrong, but it'll give you this weird capitalization issue. And like I said, I'm going to show you how to do that later. So we can search for Tarantino in film, or we could go gunfight in film, see what that gets us in full text scholarly. Okay, we get 2 there. If we get rid of the scholarly, we'll get 18. And the goal really for this project is to have as many scholarly articles as you have films. The very, very, very bare minimum. So I want to see, 6 to 12 scholarly articles and 6 to 12 films, but you're going to get a better grade if you give me more material. You can also search for the titles of movies this way as well. So I could search for Reservoir Dogs in particular, since I want to use that film. Now I have 47 normal articles, and then if I say peer-reviewed, I've got 6, which is good. So I can really cut that down to 1 or 2 per each film, and you'll get probably 1 or 2 peer-reviewed articles for every film that you choose. Yeah, see, there's a bunch on In Bruges, which is good. So you can go through all this, and that's academic search complete. Finally, if we go to the J's, we can use JSTOR. And same thing with JSTOR, we can look for films by their names. See, there we are. See, there's a bunch. Or we can look for directors. How about Woo? John. Come on, JSTOR. You can do it. Sometimes the system's a little slow. You just have to be patient. There we are. There's some John Woo stuff. So, you can look for filmmakers. You can look for movies. You can look for Woo. Here, let's try to do this properly. So, advanced search. Say Woo. Gunfight. See what happens with that. John Woo, that's good. Children caught in a crossfire. So that's good. That looks pretty good right there. That one looks like a good one. And you can download the PDF. And then that will magically appear sooner or later. There it is. And it's got all the information there for you on how to cite it, all the material you need. there's the article. And you want to collect these things, you know, this scholarship. Just keep a big file of PDFs for your project, and we'll talk about how to document that later. The last thing I want to talk about before I go is that, at least for me, there's another database I can use for this project, and that's the Internet Movie Firearms database. There's little databases all over the place for this stuff. So if we check this one for Mexican Standoff, and I just discovered this a little while back, it actually gives us a list of other films where this appears, right? So, you know, I knew about Reservoir Dogs, and I knew about Face Off, but I didn't know there was one in El Mariachi. I didn't know there was one in The Bourne Ultimatum or in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. So, you know, there's a bunch of those that might come in useful. So I could actually go back through my film list and try and decide whether or not I need to update that list. And, you know, there's a lot. Wild Wild West, Natural Born Killers, Predators, The Pest. You know, there's all kinds of these things that you can look at. Missing Missionary Man, Black Dog, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, research around your topic, and you're going to have a long list of stuff that you can't possibly do, you know, all at the same time. It's going to be too much work for you to do in, you know, a semester. You have a lot of stuff, so you got to kind of pick and choose. But this is a good way to sort of get titles for essays and, you know, read some abstracts. And if you're totally lost, like I said, text me or call me.